This is an attempt to return to roots and talk about images. A chance to speak about motherland, about ancient ancestors so entangled in the course of history, it becomes unclear who is the colonized and who is the colonizer. This film is about my island, the island of my ancestors, and her image. Islands are interesting places surrounded by sea, seemingly secluded but also connected. The water is separating and uniting at once. After the summer, I return to the island alone. It seems like this is the only way for me to make films. I see myself as a woman with a moving camera, alone with a machine I barely know how to operate, equipment that is too heavy for me to carry around, and a small but honest desire to capture what the island means for me, how I relate to this place my ancestors occupied for hundreds of years. Despite my deep desire, instead I do not film. And when I do decide to film, something is always a little off. The battery slowly dies, my shot is not steady enough, the tripod is tilted. This is my way of making films. I exist embodied next to the machine. I place the camera close to my heart. The camera eye replaces my eye. Sometimes I don't even check what it captures. I press rec and hold it near my heart as I walk through the trails at spring. Yesterday, I walked all the way up a paved trail. In the beginning, it was sunny. I ignored the dark clouds coming down the mountain. This is what spring is like here. The sun is fighting with the clouds. Rain comes, then dissolves. Sun comes, then dissolves. I climbed the stairs up at a rigorous pace until I lost my breath. I looked at the sheep eating. They were interested in my presence, turned around and stared at me. I tried to cut some wildflowers to bring them home, but they smelled really bad when I placed them in the water and they closed up their petals. My lover asked me, how do you expect to bring a corpse to your home that doesn't stink? I imagine what I want to show to you, the imaginary viewer of the film. If I could cut out a few moments from my experience being here, what would I cut out for you? How can I cut a story out of my own lived experience and present it as a gift? Gifts that might give you a taste of this island. And who am I to cut out gifts from the island? But this is not the story I came here to tell you, although the wind is persistent and carries my thoughts away, together with ships full of tourists and faithful pilgrims who come and go during the summer. The story I intend to tell you is a story of an image, her image. An image few have seen but many know of. This image changed the essence of the island and became a symbol. The image turned into a church, and then the island became a church itself, a pilgrimage. The image is a symbol of healing and protection, so strong many have come to kneel and pray before it. But even the ones who come and pray never saw the image itself, only its concealing, the devotions, the silver, the gold, the pearls, and the marbles that embrace it. Our story starts with a woman, an old nun. She lived high up in the mountain, overlooking the sea from her monastery cell in solitude. She was neither young nor beautiful. Her first name was Lucia. After the death of her father, it became clear to her she wanted to serve God. She lived between her sister in the village and her aunt, who was a nun in the monastery. When she turned 15, she felt the pressing need to become a nun and entered the monastery. When her supervisor passed away, she took her name and position. Pelagia, a woman of many names who had a dream of Virgin Mary. The repetitive whisper in the woman's ear loudly requested her to dig deep, so deep under the earth, to unearth her image. The vision appeared every Sunday of July, the 9th, the 16th, and the 23rd. The woman didn't want to believe her dream, but Virgin kept coming and coming, every time sadder and angrier. The woman could not dig herself, so she had to ask for help. Like many stories of women finding something or doing anything miraculous, many men have claimed to have found the image instead of her. Thus the nun is called a vessel of choice, the chosen one Virgin Mary decided to appear to. The men agreed to help her. The villagers took turns to share the labor. First they dug in one lot, no image, no Virgin Mary, only an old church and an ancient temple of Dionysus. A disease came and killed the people. Someone said it was a divine punishment. That lot was not the right one. The people thought the woman was a liar. They said she was delusional. They made fun of her. Then Mary came and showed her the exact place once more.